factions. And so you can see me here demonstrating it using Athens. So the build basically requires you to have 4 to 6 spearmen, preferably towards the 6, and then what you're going to do is you're going to use these spears to make an outer wall, and not necessarily the way spears are usually made into a single frontal wall. What you're going to use is you're going to have your spears form a perimeter, and what you're going to put on the inside is going to be your juicy center. And so the purpose of this, as I said, is to mirror Hannibal's victory at Cannae. So what Hannibal did was he actually formed up his main line in the center, and he tempted the Romans to come in the center, and then what he had was the flanks were heavy with Libyan infantry piled in deep, and so as the Romans pushed in the center caved in, and the flanks, so the people on the side here that I'm forming in deep rows, were able to turn in and envelop the Romans. So that's kind of what I'm showing you here. What I would recommend you do is put your pikes on the sides and then maybe one in the center, so you can see the build from on top, pikes on the outside, and then maybe one of a light spear unit in the front, just to ward off a cavalry engagement from the front. But the main idea for how this works is you're guarding your sides from cavalry. The way people use cavalry is to try and get around your sides of your flanks. So you're going to stop any of those shenanigans. So you're basically going to turn your pikes to the side and prevent that from happening. Once the infantry from the enemy tries to pull in your center, what you do is you go ahead and you form up like this. And actually this build is going to require that you use a decent amount of these skirmishers. Your skirmishers are going to pull back, and then once the enemy goes into this concave position, you're going to attack with your skirmishers from all sides, making sure to attack diagonally, as I've showed in previous videos, to make sure to hit the unprotected sides of your enemy, and then you swing your cav to assist either sides. But that's basically what Hannibal ended up doing. He pulled the Romans into the center, the sides were able to collapse on the Romans, and then he used his cavalry to go around the sides and flank. So this is going to be one of the battles where I use this against an opponent. He's going to be playing as Egypt, so I'm going to show you how this works. Now, when Hannibal was doing this, he mostly did it in a semi-passive stance. Yes, his army did advance, but mostly it was the Romans who were pushing forward. Now, in this battle, I'm going to be showing how you can use it a bit more aggressively. So you can see my opponent here in a typical build. He has skirmishers up front, line of spears in the center, and then cavalry on the sides. So what's good about my formation is you see how my opponent has those cavalry units. I'm going to anchor my spears on that side, and then I'm going to form this bow here, and where I put those lines, that's where I'm going to fire with my skirmishers, and that's my intention.